Hey civilian Jeep viewers, this is Jake, and today we're going to the Western North Carolina Jeep Fest. This is in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, and I'm going to show you a few of the Jeeps they have, maybe 5, 10. We'll see when we get there. We'll see how big the event is, but more than likely it's going to be 10 of the coolest Jeeps that I think should be showcased on this channel. So stick around and let me show you some cool Jeeps. On the way to the festival, I didn't realize the magnitude of older, classic, vintage, antique Jeeps that are in the eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina area. There's a lot. So with that said, I just couldn't factor them all into a top 10 for this video. So I decided to do a completely separate video showcasing them all. I didn't leave any of them out. I tried to do as many as possible. This is pretty much, except for the first Jeep, going to be 1987 and up Jeeps. And this is going to be the top 10 that I found at this festival. And this is all just my personal opinion, so don't get too uptight if you don't like these. So none of these Jeeps are in particular order from 1 to 10, but if somebody made me choose, I would say this would be number 1 out of the entire list. Now, if you're a fan of the 1996 movie Twister, then this one would probably be at the top of your list as well. This is based on the 1982 Jeep Honcho J10, which I love the Jeep J10 trucks to begin with, the J4000s, the J10, 20, J3000, all the full-size Jeep trucks of back in the day. I absolutely love them, but this is like taking it to a whole different level. I mean, if you look up the Jeep truck from Twister, this is an exact replica, and I mean, it blew me away. I mean, the detail that's went into this truck. The interior is immaculate, the outside is period correct, all of it just looks to be exactly like it was in the movie. If you happen to glance at the license plate, you'll notice this Jeep is from Oklahoma, so they've brought it a long ways to be at this show, but I'm sure glad they did, because this was honestly the best Jeep of this show. The next Jeep on this list would be the Overland JT setup we got going on here. It's got a bunch of AEV accessories on it, AEV lights and suspension, snorkel, that type of thing. It's got some remote reservoir shocks, but the real reason that I like this JT versus all the other ones is it has an all-you cab. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I know about the base model cab is around $11,500 to $12,000. A very expensive cab that goes on the back of the Gladiator, but what I'm about to show you, I mean, this thing is pretty luxurious. It has a hot water heater, complete power setup in the bed of it, and you actually sleep above the truck. You can have a bed that doesn't interfere with the room that you have at the bottom. As you can see when I pan up there, there's a lot of room in the bed area. Now, one cool thing that I would say about the actual appearance of this truck, aside from all, you know, the propane tank hanging off the back and all the cool accessories, typical overland type vehicle, a lot of stuff going on, but the thing that I like is the topographic stuff. They have a lot of the topographic overlays on the Jeep, and one of them is the Great Smoky Mountain topographic overlay. I think that's really cool, really neat. I just think that this is an awesome Jeep, and it's outfitted to go off the beaten path. And if I was to build an Overland style Gladiator, I would like to think I would build something similar to this. I just don't know I'd be able to afford something like this. This is a very expensive Jeep, but this is also a very capable Jeep. Being the Rubicon package, it's set up pretty well from the factory, but as you can see, it's just above and beyond the typical Rubicon. The next Jeep on this list, I had no doubt in my mind that this LJ would make the top 10. This thing is impeccable. It's got 1-ton axles, truss, dual rate springs, Patagonia MT tires and bead locks, metal cloak fenders. If you look really closely, there's a badge on the side that says Hemi. And when I'm going back here to the rear, you can see that there's a badge on the left side of the tailgate that says 5.7. So it's got a 5.7 Hemi under the hood. This thing will absolutely scoot. It does have long arms, which I'm sure it flexes great. My LJ on long arms does as well, but mine's not built anywhere near the standard of this one. I like how it has the hard top, and I like the soft doors with the soft uppers with the half doors of an LJ. I think that's something eventually I want to get as well. Overall, this LJ is just absolutely outstanding. The next Jeep I originally seen from afar, and I was like, oh, it's just another built YJ, but it's a little more than that. This is taking all the powertrain from a 2017 Wrangler Rubicon, the 3.6. I assume the NSG 370. It looks like a stick, and it also has the transfer case of the MP241 rock track that's in the standard 2017 Rubicon, and it has Dana 44s front and rear. This is pretty much a 2017 Wrangler Rubicon with a YJ body, which if you have a 2.5 cylinder, the 4 cylinder, the 2.5, this would be an awesome swap, and apparently this company will do it for you. That's a service that they offer. I don't know exactly how much they would charge to do something like this. I didn't get to talk to them long enough, but I mean, this is a very capable YJ, and a lot of the annoyances of a 4-cylinder YJ would be alleviated by swapping something like this into it. I think this deserves to be on the list just because of the pure customness that's went into this Jeep. This next Jeep is a Jeep Wrangler JL, but as you can see, it's far from stock. It has King coilovers on the front, PSC hydro steering, Hellcat under the hood. It has long arms. It looks to be probably 42s. Those look bigger than 40s. I like the half doors. I've always liked half doors on the newer Jeeps. They're just hard to find. It's got the boat slide rocker style to protect the bottom of your door. It has the cab fab rear bumper delete on the back that you're about to see. I like the rack that's hanging off the roll bar that's keeping the power tank. It's got roto packs on the back of it. I like the safari style top that's going on there that actually covers the rear seat as well as the front, and unlike a bikini top, it's got PRP seats in it. I mean, overall, this thing is just built all the way. I'd say this is easily probably a $200,000 Jeep. Carrying on with the movie themes at this Jeep event, this is the Jurassic Park Jeep. After the 1993 movie Jurassic Park, this Wrangler YJ Sahara is a 1992 model because that's what they used in the film. Now, one cool thing though is this Jeep is number 29, as you can see on the side of it. Jeep number 29 appeared in the 1993 movie, and it also made another appearance in the 2015 movie. So I think it's cool that this Jeep is modeled after Jeep number 29. Now, I've seen plenty of Jurassic Park Jeeps at these Jeep events, but this one is over the top. I mean, it is absolutely spotless. I would like to think that this Jeep is one of the best, if not the best, Jeeps in the Jurassic Park theme that I've seen. I like the movie, and I'd love to have one of these Jeeps, but man, are they going for some crazy value these days. The next Jeep that I come across is continuing on with the Overland Gladiator JT theme. The name of this Jeep is Chaos because apparently if you have a new Jeep, it has to have a name. You can't go without that. But the white color with the bronze accents just really sets this Jeep off. As you can see, it's got Mickey Thompson Baja tires. I think they're over 40. They're probably right at 40, so they're probably 40-inch tires. And this is built by Jeep Hut Off-Road. I think they specialize in off-road accessories such as tents, awnings, that sort of thing. So you can see that there's a bed rack on the back of it that their tent and awning mounts to. Now the suspension on this Jeep is Falcon suspension. I think it's the adjustable, and it has really nice links and looks to be long arms under it as well. This Jeep is built nice. It's not over the top, not real tacky or anything, but overall I like this Jeep and thought it deserved to be on the list. Now the next Jeep on this list, this TJ, some of you might wonder why it's in the top 10, but if you really look close, this thing is awesome. It's got a Warren 8274 with synthetic line anti-rock sway bar. It's got the super rare AEV hood, the Highline hood with Genrite fenders, rock sliders, color matched. It's got the AEV Pentler wheels on it. Now it has the stock factory control arms, but that's not bad. I mean, for the size lift that's on it, I'm sure this thing's plenty capable. It's got the Dana 30 in the front, 44 in the rear. It's that Patriot blue looking color.
But let's be honest, the real reason we're here is the Great Tops Safari Top with the white on it. I mean, that is absolutely, I don't even have any words. I love this Jeep. The next Jeep on this list is a JLU Rubicon. It looks to be on 40-inch Mickey Thompson Baja tires with KMC beadlocks. It's got the fastback style top, and it's got tan interior, which I really like that, especially with the bronze. What I'm finding out about myself is I really like bronze on Jeeps, and especially with this like forest pearl green look going on, that it just really sets it off. But going back to the actual Jeep, you can see it looks to be possibly metal cloak long arms. It's got Apex style 1-ton steering, Fox steering stabilizer on it. It's got lights on the knuckles, RCV shafts, Dana 44 in the front, dual rate springs. If you look real close at the fender though, you can see it does wheel it. It's got the badge of honor trails along the side of it. But I thought this Jeep should be on the list out of all the others just because, I mean, it gets used, and the fact that it's just so clean. I mean, this is one of the cleanest Jeeps I've seen for the fact that it's used. Rounding out the top 10 of this event would be this Jeep Comanche. I really like the ARB front bumper that's on the front of it. You don't see too many of them anymore, especially in that type shape. But that's fitting for the type shape that this Comanche's in. You don't see too many Comanches this nice anymore. As you can see, the engine bay, I mean, it's so clean you could eat off of it. And when you look inside of it, the interior is the same way. And it's a 5-speed. It's hard to find a Comanche 5-speed 4-wheel drive. Now, this one's a long bed, but it's even harder to find the short bed models. A lot of people bob these trucks, but that's just something I don't think I could live with, bobbing a Comanche when, I mean, they're hard to find anyway. I guess if you had a beat up one and wanted to do that, then I could see it, but it's got the Chuck Norris style bed mount in the back for the lights and the tire. I think that's cool and old school, but overall, I think this Jeep was well deserved to be on this list. I would like to mention that there's a lot of cool trails in the area in western North Carolina that's around this Jeep Fest for you to, if you decide to come to an event like this, don't think it's just the event. There's also some wheeling to be done as well.
Dirt.
Well, Zach, where are we at?
Top of a mountain.
Buzzard's Roost.
The roost of the buzzard.
So if you're at the Western North Carolina Jeep Fest, come down to Buzzard's Roost. Look for the tree with the markings. That's all I know how to explain it. Get off on the Harmon's Den exit and take a left if you're going towards Tennessee. If you're coming towards North Carolina, you're going to take a right. Go over the dam and follow that road until you get to the overlook. You can find it on Google Maps, but something that you can do if you're going to the Western North Carolina Jeep Fest. There's tons of trails. They have off-road guided rides that are stock friendly, but there's tons of other things to do in this area trail-wise that's not part of their guided rides. Well, that wraps it up for the Western North Carolina Jeep Fest. We're going to head on back to Tennessee, and I hope you guys like the Jeeps that I brought to you today. This is all my personal opinion, and I realize I didn't get to see all the Jeeps. So there might have been nicer Jeeps there, but this is just what I thought, the 10 top Jeeps that I saw at Western North Carolina Jeep Fest. Make sure to like this video if you liked it. Leave a comment on what you did and didn't like. But, you know, when it comes to Jeeps, like I always say, keep it classy.